Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me for this kind of impromptu live stream. I became aware of the video that we're going to talk about today just basically late this morning as I was doing a little bit of research. And so I thought that it was probably a good idea to sit down and watch this video of Brian Laundrie's sister Cassie and her, I believe, husband James talk to, everybody's calling them media, but I really think that they're just protesters outside of their home. Thank you for joining. We've got people from, holy cow, I got people from the UK. Leah, new subscriber. Love your content. Thank you, Leah. Jasira, good to see you again. And thank you. My family is having a wonderful day today. I hope your day is going well too. I'm going to start, since this question came in from Emily, I thought that I would just kind of jump into a couple questions before we get to the video as we wait for a couple people to join us. Emily, this, I think, is a really good question. She says, I wonder if Brian's trip home on the 17th was reaction to the Moab incident. Gabby's court date would have been around the time of her murder. Do we know when court was? Did she make that obligation? Okay. As I understand it, Emily, and I've looked for documents from the Moab police, she didn't actually have that obligation. They said that she would in the badge cam, but they ended up not citing her or arresting her. So I don't think she had that obligation to make, but I think that was a very good question. Thanks for asking that. And by the way, I wanted you guys to know that on the last live stream, I did not see that there were a couple of you who actually did a super chat, for which I am very thankful. Thank you for doing that. I don't expect you guys ever to do that, but I do really appreciate it. And so I've set myself up so I believe I will see them if they come in. I apologize for missing them the last time. Let's see if there are a couple more questions. Laura, hello. Joanne, hello from Jersey. Thank you. Javier from Wellington, Florida. Let's see. We've got Judy from Boynton Beach, stumbled onto the channel. What'd she say? And I do like when you input your speculations. Judy, I try really hard not to speculate, though that last video, that was definitely speculation town for sure. Loretta, welcome from Kansas. Thank you very much. Let's see, we got Leah from the Blue Ridge Mountains, Western North Carolina, which is a state that has a lot of attention right now. Caroline, welcome from the UK. Angelica from Florida. GHS, new sub, hi from Alabama. Thank you very much. Guys, my channel really has kind of, I don't want to sound self-congratulatory here because I don't mean it that way, but it really has kind of taken off. We've got over 20,000 subscribers now. I really, really appreciate it. If you are not a subscriber and you're joining me here, if you like what I'm doing and you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. The other thing that I ask of you guys is if you like the content, please do a thumbs up. But if you don't like the content, please give me a thumbs down. I might be the only YouTuber asking for thumbs downs, but it does help me as I try to figure out what kind of what kind of content to do. Let's see. Oh my goodness, Webby Bird, you are so kind. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you out there in the Pacific Northwest, and thank you. I really appreciate that. Brian McIntyre from Ireland, good to have you. Blue Pam Marshall from France, goodness sakes, holy cow, we've got somebody from Oz. I'm guessing you're not from the land that is emerald, but from down under. Let's see. So people all over the world, thank you very much. Thank you. I won't belabor this. We do have a lot of people watching now. We got 120 people online, and I've got to pick up my daughter from rehearsal here pretty soon, so I don't want to go too long. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, this video was, if I can just do a little bit of an introduction, this was published on News Nation. I was alerted to it by a viewer who contacted me on my website. If you ever want to know how to contact me, if you go to my website and just click on contact, that is the best way to get a hold of me. It used to be commenting on my videos was a very good way to get a hold of me, but I'm thousands and thousands of comments behind. So if there is something that you would really like me to see, please go ahead and go over to gavinfish.com, click on contact, and you can even upload documents, which is would be a big help to me, as I am a person who likes to dig into documentation. The other thing that I would say prior to starting this video is, if you go over to the website, you will see that I put Cassie Laundrie's original ABC News interview transcript on the website. Now, the reason that I did this is because it appears that ABC News has taken it down, and it becomes important in this video. We may or may not come back and take a look at this, but if you guys want to, you can either, just view it on the website, or you can actually download it using this link right here, okay? And the same goes for all of the documents that I have on the website. You can download them all. The other thing is, I've gotten a little bit behind on my timeline. I will be adding the August 17th visit by Brian Laundrie back to Florida, here in this area, because now it is confirmed by his sister Cassie. Okay, so that's where we are. Let's go ahead and start the video. We'll probably pause along the way if you have questions. I will try to keep my eyes on the comments. And holy cow, Toronto, Myrtle Beach, Zurich, Sue. I love Zurich, and I've spent quite a bit of time there. As you guys get to know me, you'll know that in my career, I've spent a lot of time traveling overseas. I feel like I'm Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere. Uruguay. Hola, Uruguay. I've never been to your country, but I did live in Argentina. So South America representing. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start this video and ask questions as we go along.
Out to talk to you, okay?
Thank you.
We want to know what the hell.
No,
We have fully cooperated with the police since September 11th when they called. I did not say that I saw my brother. I said I haven't been able to speak to him in reference to the time when I was called by the police. Since that point, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I have been honest.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. The thing about it is, we know Gabby's family. Gabby is...
We do too.
What do you want us to do?
We cooperate with the police. We're not supposed to talk to anybody, and you're making my children cry.
Was Brian with you on September 1st? Did he come to this house?
Yes, he came to this house with my parents in their Mustang, not the van. I did not know that he took that van back. I found out the next day with everybody else. We are just as upset, frustrated, and heartbroken as everybody else. And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this, and you're not helping.
Why your parents? Why your parents? You're talking about Christmas.
They're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
You don't know?
We know.
You're not involved?
We have literally been finding everything out with the news with like everybody else. My kids are upset. You're upsetting my neighbors, and all we want to do is let you guys know that we don't know.
What happened? What did you guys do on the 6th through the 8th at Fort DeSoto?
We were at Fort DeSoto on the 6th. We got there at around 2 o'clock, and we left around 8 because the kids had school the next day.
On the 6th?
Guys, let me just say, the vibe that I get from her is an honest vibe. You'll find out as we watch the rest of the video that they've been instructed not to talk publicly. But she is saying, she's giving details on this. One of the details we learned is on September 1st, she says it was in the Mustang, not in the van. And here she's talking about she was at the Fort DeSoto campground for 6 hours from 2 to 8. So I feel, I mean, I've been duped before, but I feel like this is an honest this is an honest person.
On the 6th. We only stayed for about 6 hours.
Who was there?
My mom, my dad, my brother.
Would you guys be willing to go on record to say that you would like your brother Brian
FBI
Laundrie
knows all this. They've known
to
this
turn
since
himself over to the authorities?
What was going on at Fort DeSoto campground? What were you guys doing there? Like, where there was a campfire?
Yeah. We had s'mores, we had dinner.
What did Brian say anything about
We
Gabby?
had our kids there. Nothing came up.
He didn't say anything about Gabby.
No, we've told the FBI everything.
Did Brian go?
The world does not need to know what the FBI knows.
See, that's really interesting. That line that she just said, we had our kids there, Gabby didn't come up. Have you guys ever gone camping with family? As you guys know, Kimberly and I have lots of kids. We have 5 kids, right? Whenever we have gone camping, which admittedly is not very often because it's probably one of my least favorite things to do. But when we did go camping when they were little, it was really difficult to hold an adult conversation, right? Because the kids are just all over the place. I don't know how many kids they have, but one is enough to keep your attention in those kinds of situations.
That's why we're silent.
They've asked us to not say anything, really.
This is me coming out against them.
They're suffering. Big
We're
time.
suffering.
Well,
They're suffering.
to be fair,
That might be the only time in this whole interview that she kind of lost me, right? Her suffering is not anywhere in comparison with the family of Gabby Petito.
I
They lost a
understand
life.
your view.
I mean, to be fair, they lost a life. So
I know.
I really I feel bad for you, but again, I don't feel bad
I
for
know.
you.
That's fine. You feel how you feel. How we feel. My kids are upset. You're upsetting my children, who are very upset that they had to find out that their aunt died from you people screaming it at them from the house. So that's not.
Where was that at?
On Saturday when you were here.
Your aunt died.
No, their aunt.
Their aunt died.
Yes.
The future aunt.
They considered her aunt. Aunt Gabby forever. So
To be honest with you, we can't even hear you inside.
Well, we can't.
I mean,
Couldn't figure it out.
So where else have you seen Brian since
that's
September
it.
1st?
I have not
September
seen
6th.
anybody after 8 o'clock on September 6th. I have not spoken to my parents.
How long did they stay there? Do you know? Like at
I
the
don't
Fort DeSoto campground? Did Brian go off on his own into the woods or
no
anything?
idea.
We don't
What we've
know.
been told, we know as much as you.
Did you? So when he came here September 1st, right? You said he came. What did he come here for?
My parents wanted to surprise the kids to pick them up at school. I did not know that Brian was with them when we had previously planned to hang out with them. This is not what we want to be doing. This is not how we want the world to find out when we're angry and upset. But I can't have my kids be crying for 3 days in a row.
What did the FBI take out of the house here? Like what?
Nothing.
They came here though.
Yes.
During
We met with them multiple times.
you met with them multiple times.
Yeah.
Did they ask you for like polygraphs or anything like that?
No, but
No.
We're not.
We don't know
We're not
anything.
involved in this at all.
he's my brother and that's it.
The parents. We've been outside the parents' home
I
for 2
understand.
weeks straight.
I know. I've been
There's
watching.
parents' home
I
for 2
understand.
weeks straight.
I know. I've been watching.
Man, I almost panicked there, guys. There are a couple times where this kind of falls in and out. I did not edit that. That is in the original video.
There's people out there, they feel your family's involved, a cloud of suspicion. The reason why we're here for you is because the media
ended up misconstruing what I said when they asked me if I had seen my brother. Like I said in the beginning, they didn't say, have you seen Brian? It was, what's the weirdest thing about this all? It was, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I tried to contact them after this. I tried to contact my family after this. I hadn't been able to speak to my brother.
Do you know
That's
about
it.
any additional burner phones?
I have no idea.
So you don't know nothing.
No,
Like,
he's
after.
my brother that I don't talk to that much.
And the parents ain't talking to you. Your own parents are not talking to you for what reason? They just,
The lawyer said not to.
who's lawyer?
Their parents' lawyer.
Their
We don't
lawyers.
have a lawyer. We have nothing to hide. We were told not to talk to anybody, and I'm upset that we have to come out and do this and then explain myself to the FBI.
So when Gabby was missing, the parents weren't even looking for her. They weren't even out looking for her.
We don't even know what they knew. We can
Do you
assume.
know that she was missing when they went to Fort DeSoto?
No.
You didn't have
September
no clue
11th,
that she was missing.
the detective that was working with Gabby's mom called me up while we were on
We
vacation,
were in Orlando.
and then I called her back because we were eating dinner, and I told her everything she needs to know. We told them from day one that we were at Fort DeSoto with them on the 6th and that they came over here on the 1st.
So while Fort DeSoto, that camping trip was a revelation to those of us who are following the case, it appears, at least if they're being honest here, that police have known about it since the very beginning, which actually, if that is the case, that makes me feel good that, they should know way more than we do. And a couple of you have said, like Virginia right here, saying, I want to believe her. And Mama for 1990, I think she's being honest. I think that I feel the same way. Now, RV asked, she does not comment on what they all discussed as family at September 6th. You would think that Gabby not being there would be a point of discussion. Though, again, looking back on camping trips that I've had with my family, I think that just a quick, oh yeah, Gabby's not here, just a very quick conversation. Yeah, she couldn't make it, would probably be enough in those kind of positions or those situations where your kids are running around and you're near the water and all that stuff. So, while RV, you are correct. She did not comment on that. I don't see that as anything major, I guess.
The police has known everything that's out there the whole time, from September 11th night on. That's when I became involved, and I knew nothing before that.
Any other questions?
So what were your thoughts after you found out she was missing and your brother was here by himself and in her van and ran up $1,000 on her credit
These are
card?
things we're not allowed to answer.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Brian hit Gabby?
Again, with answers like that, I'm not allowed to answer that. That does indicate to me that they are, number one, in contact with law enforcement, and number two, working with them as they work on their investigation, and number three, trying really hard to make it so that the investigation moves forward, I guess, and succeeds. That's how I read that.
No.
Have you ever seen him fight?
No.
Have you ever seen him hit any woman?
No, I've never seen him be
Domestic
abusive
violence
or
around your
angry
family?
in anything. No.
You know that we talked to neighbors. We canvassed your parents' neighborhood.
Yeah.
They've heard screams coming out of your parents' house on multiple occasions.
Your parents' house.
Okay,
Screams.
I don't know what to tell you about
Might have been
that.
our kids. We lived there for a year.
Oh, you lived at the home in Wabasso?
Yeah,
Gabby and Brian lived with us.
when they were in New York.
And you've never seen them fight? No argue? No?
Of course, we bicker,
nothing-
everybody bickers, but nothing like what no
Nothing that would
domestic
constitute
anything.
domestic violence.
No,
No.
yes, or else we would have done something about it.
Right.
I don't stand for that. I was in a bad...
Bad golfer, I just wanted to pause here for a second for this comment. I would have drilled down on Brian about Gabby. So, again, I'm kind of feeling like this couple, either they're very good actors or they're sincere. I don't feel like there are that many options in between those two extremes. So, anytime I've gone camping, it's usually with Kimberly's family. It's usually at the beach. And, say my brother-in-law isn't there, I will ask my sister-in-law, hey, where is his name? And she'll go, oh, he couldn't make it because he's working, or couldn't make it, he's got a race this weekend, or something like that. It just seems like something that would be easy to convince family that you don't see all the time as to why your fiance wouldn't be there. Maybe I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt, but that's how I'm feeling.
Relationship similar to that, what's saying has happened. I wouldn't let that happen. We're...
Not evil monsters were made out to be.
A lot of people just want answers. There's a cloud of suspicion. Nobody came to your house, I'm sure, to after it came out in the media, they said, oh, you lied. They said that you misled
I've been accused of lying.
saying that you didn't see him.
Right. I didn't say that I didn't see him. I said I didn't speak to him after that question. Was what was the weirdest thing that I haven't been able to talk to my brother? As in, from the 11th forward, I have not been able
So
to
then the
talk to
media
my
spun
brother.
it around.
Yes.
If you read the transcript, it's right
The transcripts are out there of everything that was said. And then...
Okay, I want to stop right there, right? Now, this is really important because I admit that when I saw her original ABC News interview clip, and then we found out that she was there at Fort DeSoto, it seemed like she had lied. And I think I even said it on my channel. Oh, she's caught in a lie, right? But what the protester just put together after what she just described is that they flipped that in the edit. ABC News flipped that in the edit, and they're saying, look at the transcript. So guys, go to the website and look at the transcript. I did find it for you, and I looked it up as well, and she is correct. It is backwards on TV from what she actually said.
I was misquoted on inside the article, but that's not what I said. I'm sincere.
I think you guys need to make like a public statement telling Brian to turn himself in. I think that would ease a lot of people's...
We don't even know if he's on the run or he's...
Do you think he's dead?
No idea.
Where does he camp around here? Like, where else besides Fort DeSoto?
We've told
Sure, she's giving
the FBI everything.
When you guys were children, you're obviously your whole family's outdoors. So when you guys were children, like every summer I went to a place. Where was your summer vacations at normally?
We didn't have that. We grew up on a great street where our summer vacation was hanging out with our friends. So,
we have
Again,
to.
that was
We're
not
here
an
for
edit. I didn't edit that. That was in the video.
family. They are suffering gravely. Things that you will never even feel.
Hope not.
And
I understand.
it's just right now, having your family destroyed, and then the people that you trusted your family member with is ignoring you and hanging up the telephone on you.
I understand. I'm in the boat where I'm getting ignored by my family and thrown under the bus by my family's attorney.
I need to just stop here and give myself a mental note to talk about an occasion in my personal life where I was an insider to some activity and everybody on the outside thought they knew what they were talking about. It's a difficult position to be in, and I think I'll talk about it after this. If I don't, remind me, guys, because they have to stand there and be lectured by somebody who is well-intentioned, well-meaning, and obviously feels a lot about Gabby and her family in the case. I mean, she's got righteousness in her corner, right? If I can put it that way. But she doesn't know everything that they know, and they're not allowed to share those things. So they're kind of painted into a corner. That's a difficult position to be in. And I'm just saying I'm sympathetic. I don't necessarily know that they deserve that sympathy, but I am sympathetic to that.
Why would he do that? Like, why?
Protect his client because she's not their client.
So I'm just as mad.
Did they have a storage shed, Gabby, and
They have a storage locker.
Brian, do you know where it was?
I have no idea.
Do you know what date your brother flew back, that your dad paid for the plane?
I didn't even know he paid for the plane.
Did he fly back?
Yes, he flew back.
Like around the 17th or something?
Put it into their house.
Around like the 17th or something,
Yeah,
after the
he
fight.
got here on the 17th. I don't know what day he left.
So that's important. This is the key. This is what we're going to be adding to our timeline, right? This is now confirmation. This is not a reporter saying somebody said. This is an eyewitness saying he was here on the 17th. So we know now for a fact, we can add it to our timeline. He was in Florida on the 17th.
See him on that trip?
Yes.
What was discussed? Anything? Was he discussed about?
They were talking, he was telling me where they were going next. I FaceTimed with Gabby and the kids on that trip. I didn't.
Did he say he got in a fight with Gabby? He didn't talk about that incident?
Just was a surprise to us.
Yeah. We're unfortunately in the dark as much as everybody else. And
What was your brother like when he was in middle school and a teenager? What was he like?
I didn't live in the house at the time.
Has he ever been violent with you?
No.
Never
Violent with anybody?
Brother, I mean, me and my sister went at it. She pulled my hair, kicked me in my eye.
We're 8 or 9 years apart. We're not.
Yeah, you're older.
He's not like my. We were little together, brother. I mean, I was.
But you guys lived in the house at Wabasso. Everybody lived there.
No, my parents lived in New York.
Oh, they lived in New York. You lived in the house.
We were remodeling the house.
And then Brian and Gabby came there.
When they moved down to Florida, they moved in with us. to get on their feet.
How do they
find
meet?
Jobs.
High school.
That's,
Well, I
feel like I'm answering too many things.
Yeah, I understand, and I appreciate and respect. Out of respect, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave out of respect. We're gonna leave.
We appreciate you.
I don't think we're gonna be back.
Because to be
And
honest
I'm
with you,
sorry.
this is what we wanted right here.
No,
This is what we wanted, and this.
We were told not to come out, but I can't have my kids crying.
Well, the fact that you came out, we're not coming back.
Yeah, we're not going
I mean, unless you're lying or there's something new, we're not coming back. God bless you guys.
for her.
No, us too.
We just want
Mental
justice
exam.
for her.
We're upset. We're sad.
And you see, we're rational people. We just want answers. We want just closure for Gabby.
Okay, this actually seems like they're at the end, but there's another 7 minutes. And so I'm going to pause here for a second, answer this question from the Manning's Adventures. Might be a dumb question, but do all of the Laundries, including Brian, have the same lawyer or attorney who represents them? To my knowledge, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but to my knowledge, there is one lawyer. His name is Stephen P. Bertolino, and he is described as the family lawyer. When investigators wanted to talk to Brian, I remember it being reported that the parents or the family lawyer did not let that happen. So I think to answer your question, it probably is. I think there's only the one lawyer. Let me see if there are a couple of other questions here that I should take a look at before I keep going. Man, so many comments. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for telling me. Thank you very much for telling me about the sound effects that were happening on the last live stream. Hopefully you guys aren't getting those this time. Let me see if there's anything else. No, I think I'm just going to keep going.
If I were you, change your strategy because
Where our summer vacation was hanging out with our friends. So
It's a tough situation, and I'm hearing you.
Hey, Jake, this is a good question. The people recording this and standing outside the home have been reported as media by the media, but they are not. They are friends of the Petitos, Gabby's family, and they're just people who are calling themselves protesters, right? They're coming to the house with little bullhorns, and they're yelling chants and stuff like that at the house. They are not media, to my knowledge.
I appreciate you guys coming out and talking. We do respect that, and that's why
Save our neighbors.
Yeah.
And this, again, if no one, I don't think anyone would have ever came to your house until the media came out and said, "Well,
the media said that, and my parents' lawyer really screwed me over by saying that he just.
Well, I saw the comment that
he
he
did
made.
not just stop by on the way home, and I was livid. And I'm not speaking to anybody.
Yeah, no.
I'm done. Because that put me in danger. That made my kids find out this horrible way with questions. We were waiting until there was some kind of closure, so the kids were just sad. Instead of sad, worried, and now really scared of you guys.
Well, based off all the stuff on the internet, do you think Brian killed Gabby?
I don't know. The internet is the internet.
Understand. If you had anything to say to Gabby's family, what would you say?
We've already reached out through the FBI to them, so.
God, very sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the family personally, and I can share this. What do you have to say to Gabby's family?
I don't have anything to say right now because the police has told us specifically not to talk to anybody or anything.
And she's going outside of that talking to you.
Yeah.
So you have to respect
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to.
Hey, Lisa, this is a very good comment. This is a very good comment, which makes me want to pause here for a second. Yeah, in the world in which we live, the access to information is not owned by what we would all consider the media, right? It is pretty much owned to whomever has the ability to make a video or audio recording or take a photograph and get it in front of people. So I take your comment and I take that correction. These people right now are the media. Thank you very much. That is a great comment.
As long as you didn't say anything that you didn't tell them.
No, they know everything. 100% honesty. September 11th night forward, we've been cooperative.
It's just frustrating because the family's upset because they're not getting the belongings from Gabby that are in your parents' home.
We have no idea what they have or
They
don't
won't
have.
give them.
I don't know.
parents have hung up the phone on them.
I mean, it's just frustrating,
I'd also like to say that not to upset Mr. Petito any further, but I did not get any phone calls from him in the days prior to this September 11th. September 11th, I checked my phone records. I don't see any. He maybe had the wrong number for me. So I was not ignoring his phone calls. I didn't get them.
Our first one was from the...
And that could have happened. He could have got the wrong phone number. It's very easy. So
we called them right back.
it doesn't,
It's just a sad situation. It's just sad. I don't know what to think, but I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do appreciate you coming out. I don't know what to think.
Eventually,
Yeah, to us, the silence was like a form of guilt. You understand?
Oh yes,
Like,
I understand. But for us, silence was not guilt. Silence was
nobody
the FBI
came here
telling us
until
not
the
to.
lie
Yes,
was portrayed.
I know.
And,
and
plenty of people here, but
oh, they
Guys, I'm glad that she brought that up. That brings to mind another conversation that we should have. And I covered this pretty darn well in a previous video, but in a court of law, silence cannot be taken as guilt, right? But in a court of public opinion, it definitely can. People will have an opinion based on whatever their criteria are. So the fact that they have been silent for many of us has made us feel like, oh, they know something, they're in the know. And some of us have even been kind of hoping that they get in trouble on this. But what she's claiming, at least in this, is that they have to remain silent for the integrity of the investigation because they have been asked or instructed by law enforcement to do that. So I think, that is important for us to keep in mind when we try to fairly analyze the intentions and the actions of what do we want to call these, the extra players in the case, right?
Yeah. But there's just people upset and they just want to answer. They want Brian because he's on the loose.
Trust me, I understand.
Whether he's dead or alive, he's out there.
Because
the sooner he's found, the sooner this is over for us.
Yes.
We can start the
And that's what we keep trying to express to your parents, is that if they can just come out and just start cooperating,
I'm making a statement.
I know.
we will go away. We have to. We are here.
Bless you guys.
For her.
No, us too.
We just want
Make it
justice
stand.
for her.
We're upset. We're sad.
And you see, we're rational people. We just want answers. We want just closure for Gabby.
I would, if I were you, change your strategy because they don't have a strategy.
Yeah, they don't even have a lawyer.
Again, it's a really hard position to be in when somebody wants to give you advice without knowing anything on the inside. We'll talk about that here in a second. I wanted to pause. Bad golfer wins the autopsy report. The answer to that question continues to be we don't know. Autopsy reports typically, when they're rushed, take about 60 days. At least that's my experience. Sometimes they can take even longer than that. And I am doubtful that they will ever release the autopsy report or the cause of death prior to a conviction on this one. That's just my opinion. All right, 4 more minutes of this, guys.
Deserves better, and maybe help pressure your parents into doing the right thing, because I'm telling you, Gabby's family's suffering gravely, and your parents know more than they're letting on, and it sounds like they deceived you, which is not good for any parent. And I'm just hoping that maybe some pressure from the family might help them cooperate with law enforcement so we can put an end to this. Like, I got better things to do. I'm burnt up. I've got chapped lips.
We've been out there.
Sick and tired.
You have a beautiful neighborhood.
We need from them.
We've been outside your parents' home for 2 weeks. We just want answers. We want them to come forward and share everything they know. But they refuse to, they just stay silent. They're in their home. Yesterday they went out gardening in the back of their house, during, Brian's on the loose. They haven't given any public statement saying, hey, Brian, turn yourself in.
Or, help me find my son, or nothing.
They're outside gardening.
They're out
Just
gardening.
baffled and blown away as everybody
It's like,
else.
Going about our lives like nothing happened.
Do you think, have you heard about September 14th where Brian allegedly bought a burner phone at the 18th? Do you think his mom was with him? You think your mother? Because
That's what the news says. I don't know what.
Brian didn't like a cell phone to begin with.
He didn't like cell phones. Is he like an outdoorsman? What is he like? What's his hobbies? Like, does he do camping at outdoors? And do you think he could survive out in the woods for a month?
I think anybody could survive out in the woods for a month if you grab a book and go out there and try.
I don't know if I asked before, but do you think he's alive?
We hope so.
No.
You hope so?
Yeah.
See,
I hope so, too.
I think people want him held accountable, but no harm done to him.
No, of course.
You know, we don't want harm done to him. We just want him held accountable for his actions.
We would like to give his nephews an answer to when they can see their grandparents again, when, you know, see their uncle or talk to him or anything. You know, he was their hero, so.
I'm sorry for your...
That is a very sad thing about this case, is that there are children around this, right? I mean, man, there's so many sad things about this case. The least of which is, or not the least of which, is the fact that Gabby Petito lost her life. But these are people who, to me, seem like they loved Gabby, that their children loved her, Aunt Gabby, and they found it out in a very difficult way. It's pretty tough stuff.
Guys' pain. I'm sorry for you guys' pain. I really am.
I'm very sorry, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
And you guys have a good day. God bless you. I hope everything turns out. Keep praying. This all ends, and then everyone can move on and just move forward from here.
Well, we need to find your brother so we can start
100%. I don't
start the healing
know what
process
you're
for
doing,
the
but-
And again, we don't condone any violence on your parents.
Nope.
We've been out there, but we haven't.
Protesting against violence.
We've been out there, but we haven't went on their property. We don't want anyone doing any damage to their house. We don't want anybody to storm their house. We just want answers. We want them to come forward. You know, hopefully they'll do that.
Tomorrow.
Hopefully, I'll be honest. I prayed.
Like,
I've been praying for the last couple of days, saying I hope they repent and do what's right. Just like I prayed for you guys. I prayed that I'd be able to speak to you guys, or you guys would come out and give answers. I prayed for that the last couple of days. I said, and this might happen, and it did. God bless you guys, and let's just hope this gets resolved quickly, because the longer he's out, it's a danger.
I agree. I agree. I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that it's my kids.
Thank you, and we are leaving. We are leaving, and we're not coming back. I'm not coming back.
Thank you, Cassie. Thank you,
Thank you, Cassie, for your time.
Understanding.
We appreciate
You have a good
doing
day.
the right thing. Yep, thank you.
Sometimes people
Very
just
powerful.
need to be heard, right? And these people have been standing out in front of Cassie and James's place at least on Saturday, and then whatever this was, yesterday. So sometimes they just need to be heard, and then off they go. Okay, so if you guys have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I will, if you have anything you want me to ask or to answer to the best of my knowledge anyway, I will do so. Okay, will a federal trial be held in Wyoming? I'm unfamiliar with the jurisdiction. RoboCathy, I am unfamiliar with that as well. I'm not sure where the trial will be held, though we do know that it is a federal trial. And I think that we can look at a couple clues. Let's go over to the screen here for a second. The indictment, if we take a look at the indictment, it was in the District of Wyoming. So that's in the United States District Court, District of Wyoming, I would guess, because the indictment, and then if we take a look at the arrest warrant, which is probably right here. Let's see, Brian Laundrie. I think this is just the announcement of the arrest warrant. Let me see if I can find the actual... Man, I need to get that arrest warrant up there, guys. I think I'm missing that. But anyway, the indictment is from the District of Wyoming. So my belief there, RoboCathy, is that it will be held in the District of Wyoming. Let's see. They can withhold information all day, but why all of a sudden you turn on the cremation and return her body to her parents' home? I think it's BS. Robin, I must have missed that in the news. I'm not sure. Can you tell me more about that? Was her body released to the family? If that is the case, then that means that the coroner, in this case, and the investigators believe they've gotten all the evidence, the evidentiary value from Gabby Petito's body, and it is time to turn her body over to funeral home for interment or cremation. I know in several of the cases that I'm looking at, in the medical examiner's office, or the coroner's office, they are looking to be able to do stuff quickly and turn bodies over as quickly as they can, typically because they're overrun with remains, with dead bodies, and they want to do their jobs and let people be buried as quickly as possible. Let's see. Yeah, a couple there. Okay, I keep commenting, and thank you very much. I saw another big chat there from Lone Wolf. I can tell you for a fact that the FBI and law enforcement won't release anything until Brian is arrested on the warrant. I can tell you that a warrant was issued for the additional DNA by Moab Police Department. I think that there probably are a lot of warrants for collecting evidence, like you just said, Lone Wolf. I think you're probably right. I don't know that specifically about the Moab Police, but I think you're probably right. Okay, I want to talk just for a moment, and I'm getting kind of off subject here, but it is tangential, and it has to do with kind of being in the know and then being criticized by people who are out of the know. If you do any research on me online, you will find that there is a large group of people within the high-end audio community who are really upset with me because of something that I did as an employee of a company called LH Labs. What we had done is we had done a whole bunch of crowdfunding, a lot of crowdfunding for products that we were developing, and then ultimately many of those products weren't ever delivered. I actually left the company with the faith that they would be delivered, but they weren't, and I am blamed by a lot of people, and I think, if I'm to be fair, I think that rightly so, because I was the voice of the company when we did all that stuff. But and so the only reason I tell you that is because when we were going through that, there were a lot of voices on the outside spouting out all sorts of ideas about what we were doing. Gavin has gotten rich. He's left the company because he's got all the money he needs. He's got all of our money. He's stolen it and all that stuff. When the truth was way, way, way different than what people were speculating. And that is why I try really hard to stay away from what I call speculationville, right? I just try really hard to not do that. Now, when Cassie and her husband James, were standing there and they're getting lectured by those people, mostly by that one person who was, telling them what it is that they should do, I really sympathized with her because it's extremely hard not to just lash out at somebody like that. So I don't know. That's just a little insight into me. Judgmental, I saw your most recent vid. That's what led me here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see. I think, guys, I think that we can probably call it there, unless you have any other major questions or concerns, but you can leave those in the comment after this. I really don't want to belabor this. It's been almost 45 minutes and I do need to go parent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come by the channel and discuss this case and discuss other cases too. A lot of you have discovered my other cases, Amanda Winkowski and Rochelle Brinson and Shelby Thornburg. I've got a lot of cases that I'm looking into deeply, and I appreciate you guys checking those out and commenting on them. If you liked this live stream, please subscribe if you haven't already. I've noticed in my analytics that we've got recently about 12% of our watch time from subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, you like what I'm doing, please do. I am noticing that we've got a lot of thumbs up here in this live stream, 141 thumbs up right now. We've got 6 thumbs downs. I want you guys to know that I like both thumbs ups and thumbs downs. It really helps me to know where to go with my channel and what kind of content that you guys want to see. So with that, I will go ahead and I will bid you adieu, and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.